And we're back as promised, DMZ America podcast here for Wednesday, June 7th, 2023. I'm Scott Stantis coming to you from the right.
And I'm Ted Rall coming to you from the left.
So happily, we haven't had any bone saws involved with us lately, but the PGA Tour, yes, white boys and some not white boys, but mostly white boys in short sleeves hitting a ball with a stick and getting paid like ridiculous amounts of money to do it. The PGA, in a shocking development, and this really was shocking when I saw this come across my news feed yesterday, I was just like, gasped that they are now merging with the LIV Golf tournament. LIV was put together by the Saudi prince and his murdering thugs, and they paid really crazy, like 8 figures per tournament for some of the high-end golfers to go and play in. Now, I didn't know that golf was made that kind of money. I knew it made good money, but holy Mary, mother of God, it was crazy. And so the PGA, rather than compete with what really amounts to a bottomless bucket of money, decided to join them. So now the PGA is in league with the Saudi prince who kills people, chops them up after they're dead or not, tortures them. I just reread.
Don't forget, dissolves them in acid and dumps them into the sewer.
I just reread the Kashuga
in a consulate, your country's consulate.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So there we go. Ted, I mean, I know you don't, Ted. Okay. I got to tell everybody.
Speaking of flamethrower drones, there's not enough flamethrower drones for that guy. Just saying.
Just to make this very clear and full disclosure, Ted, how many shits do you give about sports?
Oh, minus several.
Yeah, there are literally no fucks given by Ted Rall about sports. Zero, which I love sports. So that's the one weird part of our friendship, because I want to talk about, hey, did you see we'll talk about, hey man, you watching the Super Bowl this weekend? He goes, I don't know. I'm going to a party. Who's playing? But yeah. I love Ted anyway, but yeah, he does not care about sports. But this is a big deal.
This is not like a pose. It's not like one of those, like, the people who are like, I just want you to know, Scott, I don't watch television. Like those people. Like, yeah, I hate. No, it's like.
By the way, those people used to tell that to my dad, who was a television executive. So
I don't personally care if people watch sports. But enjoy. I mean, it just doesn't interest me. But I don't look down on anyone for watching sports. I just don't do it myself.
Okay, so but this is a big deal. This is a thing. This is not a little thing. This is a PGA, which is an internationally recognized brand, giving legitimacy to and allowing the Saudi prince who does like to murder people cachet. And I mean, in all seriousness, does this bother you at all? Even though you don't care about sports?
Well, I mean, look, it's yeah, it bothers me. I mean, look, anything that legitimizes Mohammed bin Salman in any way is evil. And so, look, I understand what happened here. Even though the LIV and the PGA were suing each other and were mortal enemies at one point, and basically the LIV came in with more fucking money than the PGA could compete with. So it was one of those, like, if you can't beat them, join them. And so they joined them and they sold out and they collected the money. I get it. And I understand how you would be tempted to do that. But the truth is, it's better to fucking die than do business with Mohammed bin Salman. And like, he is a horrible butcher. The United States, after that happened, should have severed diplomatic relations with Saudi Arabia, recalled our ambassador, closed our embassy, and declared war against Saudi Arabia. By the way, that would be an oil-rich country that would be worth invading and having. I mean, it would go much better. I mean, they've got a low population. I bet at least 80% of the population would actually greet us as liberators, because they are under severe oppression. First of all, every female, all the foreign workers, and everyone who's not really rich, which is quite a few people in Saudi Arabia. So, it is repugnant. So, I mean, the fact that the PGA is helping to legitimize this guy, even though I don't think that's what this is really about. I think,
what do you think it's about?
I think it's about prestige and money. MSB is trying to, sorry, MBS. He's trying to address, bring in tourist dollars. He wants Saudi Arabia he has this whole plan to make Saudi Arabia a big, bustling 21st century country that is more than about sand chopping off princesses' heads and oil. He wants it to be a tourist destination. He wants it to be known for like research facilities, colleges and universities. He's trying to make it a real country instead of just an oil baronry. And, that's what this is really about. But from the PGA standpoint, they should not give him any aid or comfort. So yeah, it pisses me off.
No, I couldn't agree more. This reminds me a lot of Berlin in 1936. It was 36, 32.
36.
36. The world played footsie with Adolf Hitler. They went to his Olympics where they glorified the Nazi regime. Adolf Hitler got to hand out medals, give the opening, little talk. And it legitimized the Third Reich internationally. It helped him. And they knew that that's what this does. It means that being MBS is okay. Being part of a murderous, one of the most oppressive regimes on the planet is okay as long as there's money involved, and a lot of it. And, I'm a capitalist. I love capital. I love money. Money good, fire bad. I pay my rent with money. But this is beyond the pale. I mean, I know that's a weak thing to say, but this is just capitalism at its very worst.
It is. And it's rank, and it's one of those things where you would just think about Joe Biden giving his fist bump to MBS.
Yes. What the hell? And that was shortly after an American citizen. Was he an American citizen at that
No,
point?
he was a green card holder. He was a permanent resident and a columnist for the Washington Post.
And and Joe Biden fist bumps the guy who allegedly they sent his fingers, Khashoggi's fingers, to MBS just as a little souvenir.
Oh wow. Yeah, I believe that. I mean, yeah, it was. We know it was ordered. The Turks proved that, right? I mean, the Turks had the consulate bugged, and recorded the whole thing. Yeah, they have all the audio. You can listen to it online. Good for the Turks, and it's hilarious, the whole thing that they did, that they had the place bugged. But I think that was the Turks' way of telling the Saudis, do not fucking do your dirty business on our territory, you psychotic assholes. And they were not wrong.
And the recording implies strongly that Khashoggi was not dead when they started cutting him up.
Oh yeah, that is correct. So
unbelievable story. But and then that's one incident you think, oh, they're just focusing on one thing, and oh boy, as if it's like a mistake. I slipped and fell, and I chopped him into pieces and put. This is a regime that does that. The misogynism. Women have just been given the right to drive, which is unbelievable.
Woohoo!
Yeah. But they still perform capital.
Could reading be next?
God forbid. They still have executions, public executions. Think about this: a guy with a sword, and you kneel in front of, and then.
Yeah, it's a medieval shithole country. It is.
Have you ever been?
I have been to Riyadh. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What'd you do there?
Not much. I was changing planes. I was in the airport, so
okay.
I sort of went to an airport hotel that was outside of the airport, but not much. There wasn't much to see. It sucked. I was happy to leave.
I was on the peninsula. I was visiting Dubai, and Dubai, which is much more progressive.
Right.
If you will.
I've been to Dubai.
But it's just for those of you who've never traveled there, it's weird, man. And it's not some place that you'd want to do business. It just isn't. And now Saudi Arabia, but Saudi, somehow God stuck them on sand, and under the sand is a bunch of oil. And
yep.
Apparently that makes everything A-okay.
Yeah, no, look, everyone who has anything to do with Saudi Arabia is wrong, period. I mean, there's nothing more to be said. Yeah.
All right. Then let's leave it at that. We'll be back shortly. This is the DMZ America podcast for Wednesday, June 7th. I'm Scott Stantis coming to you from the right.
Ted Rall coming to you from the left.
Stick around. Ted's still upright. He hasn't suffocated yet.
For now.
Well, we still have another segment. So,
There's
you know,
time.
fingers
Time.
crossed.
Okay.
We'll be right back.